Do you like steak, brisket, or any kind of beef? This is a video for you, I promise. I'm gonna be cooking a whole prime rib roast. Not just any whole prime rib roast, a 16-pound whole prime rib roast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bones in this whole prime rib roast. This is going to be awesome. So why am I cooking a whole prime rib roast, a 16-pound whole prime rib roast? One reason is because it's just simply amazing to handle and cook and eat this prime rib roast. This is gonna feed our family all week long. It doesn't get any better than this when it comes to beef. This one is graded choice. This thing is loaded with marbling. It's wonderful cut of beef. And as long as we cook it properly, it's going to be incredible. Let's get started. So I'm gonna be cooking on the Rectech pellet smoker. And this is an amazing machine for something like this because you get a really accurate and consistent performance out of it. So to turn it on, you just push the power button and it'll bring up the last temperature you were cooking at. Now we're gonna drop this down to 250 degrees because that's gonna be a perfect temperature to start getting this prime rib cooked. What we're doing today is a reverse sear. So we're gonna smoke it, get it up to temperature on the Rectech, and then we're gonna take the temperature up to 500-600 degrees searing temperatures, and we're gonna put the prime rib on it just to get a great sear. Now the Rectech has one more function that is gonna be great here. At temperatures at 250 degrees and below, it has a extreme smoke function right there. You just push that button and what it does is it feeds a few more pellets and it allows it to produce a little more smoke. So any pellet grill is gonna have the issue of, not quite producing as much smoke as most of us want. I solved this with a 12-inch smoker tube and I just fill this with pellets. And I'll light it from the top and get this thing nice and lit for about 5 minutes before you put it on the grill. You need it to stay upright for it to really catch properly. The best way to light it is just with a torch. We're gonna use about 4 cups beef broth. And I suggest that you stay with beef broth for a liquid because this is gonna be your au jus when you're all done. Drippings, the vegetables, and this beef broth is gonna turn out to be one amazing au jus. I'm using my turkey pan and it's just about the right size. Now what I'm doing is I'm Frenching the bones, and this can be very intimidating if you've never done it before, but I promise you, it's really not that bad. Just take a look at how I'm doing it. It's not that hard. It leaves a wonderful presentation and gets rid of a lot of fat that's just unnecessary. Don't throw these away. We're gonna put those in the pan. As you can see, one of the reasons I Frenched the bone is it makes for a wonderful presentation, but two, most of this area is just fat. So now what we want to do is really just kind of trim this up, make it nice and neat. We want to take this down so it's no more than about 1/4 inch. This. All fat. Okay, so that's pretty good. I like that. Now it's time to get a rub on it. I have 3 tablespoons of coarse ground pepper, 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of thyme, 2 tablespoons of rosemary. Now this is a big chunk of meat, so you need a lot of spice for it. Whatever you think you need, you probably need double. Then I took 4 garlic cloves and I blended them up, and we're gonna put that in here as well. Now what we wanna do is we wanna make a paste, and then we'll apply the paste to the prime rib. So we're gonna put some olive oil in here. When you're shopping for a rib roast like this, they're usually not gonna be in the display cases at your butcher or at the grocery store. You know, this is not something people buy every day. So it's something you have to ask them for. And we're just gonna kind of paint it on there. Whatever falls off, we'll come back and get and put it on. Try to get it on as evenly as you can. Now you don't need to put any on the bones, but we are gonna put some on this part of the meat. All right, so I ran short on some rub. I wanna go ahead and make some more and we'll get this finished up. You don't wanna forget the ends. So we're gonna get some on here, and we're also gonna get some on these ends here. We're almost done with this guy. About time to get it on the smoker. Just gonna make sure everything's nice and even, and good coverage. If you're enjoying the video, have you hit that subscribe button down below? What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Help me out. Share the video with your friends and family. It would mean a lot to me. Oh my gosh, this looks good. All right, so we're gonna use the chef alarm, and I'm gonna set it at 120 degrees because what I wanna pull it at 125 degrees, and then it'll carry over for about 8 degrees or so. And then I'll have the iGrill 2 monitoring the ambient temperature and the other probe. So we should be, you know, pretty good here. If you put the rib roast on at room temperature, it would be about 5 minutes per pound. I don't believe in doing that because it would take 7 or 8 hours to get it to room temperature. So I take it out for about 2 to 3 hours while I'm prepping it. The temperature of the meat is 44 degrees right now. So we gotta get it up to room temperature, and then we'll start the cooking. But this is nice and slow. We're at 250. We don't wanna lose any moisture, so we're staying low and slow here, 250, no higher, until we decide to sear it. I'll give you an update in a little while. All right, so we're into this cook for 40 minutes now, and you can see we're just getting ready to touch 50 degrees, and the other thermometer on the iGrill is saying the same thing. So we're running along pretty good. The first part of cooking a rib roast is always the slowest. So be patient with it. Don't turn your temperature up if you're, starting to get impatient with it. This is taking your barbecue game up a whole nother level. You can get the rib roast in any cut that you want. You can get a 2-bone rib roast, 3-bone rib roast, or whatever. You can get the whole rib roast like I got. Normally, you're not supposed to peek at these things, but I'm doing a video on it, so, it only makes sense to let you get a little peek and see where it is at about 40 minutes. You can see it getting some nice color, but it's just getting started. last 20 degrees is gonna go by pretty quick. So we're gonna start keeping a very close eye on this. Okay, so our chef alarm's gone off. It's 1:23. Let's go ahead and take a reading with my thermopin. Doesn't that look amazing? It smells out of this world. .26 is what I'm getting there. .23, 124. We're done. It's time to go ahead and pull it off the smoker. I'm just gonna put some foil over it, nice and light, so we don't lose much heat. What we need to do now is we need to sear the outside of it. In order to do that, we need to get a very high temp. We need to be up at 500 degrees. Okay, so the Rectech is set for 500, and I have the prime rib underneath the foil so it doesn't lose much temperature. It's probably gonna take 15 minutes or so to get this up to 500. Once it gets up to 500, we're gonna sear it. All right, we're at 500 degrees, it's time to sear. We're gonna let that go for a little over 5 minutes. Once 5 minutes is up, I'm gonna flip it and do another 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna pull it and let it rest for about 30 minutes. That is really good. I mean, phenomenally good. That is a great, great piece of meat. Now what I need to do is I'm gonna drain the pan of all the liquid, and that's my au jus. And then the vegetables, they're just cooked in that wonderful goodness. It's a great, great meal. You need to check it out.